Good afternoon, everyone. So here we are today on the 29th of July, which is the last Thursday of the month, and we are ready for a new Mixit. For those that were not present in the last episode, Mixit is an informal conversation with YieldPlanet connectivity partners, and we will be talking about our guests about the best channel mix with the best mixed strings. During these easygoing interviews or discussions, as you want to call it, we will be talking with and about online distribution experts. Every month, I'm inviting a different type of connectivity partner. As you know, YieldPlanet being or also having a channel manager has a very wide connectivity partner program. We are currently integrated with almost 500 channels, being these channels OTAs, Metasearches, booking engines, PMSs, wholesalers, tour operators, and so on and so forth. We really believe that part of the secret behind a hotel success lies on distribution, and this is why we have decided to invite every month an expert to talk about channel mix. Last month, we had two major OTAs. We were very pleased to have here Agoda and Trip.com. This time, we have invited Wihp and Bookasisst to tell us more about Metasearch. Okay, and why Metasearch? Why should we consider to add Metasearch to our channel mix? Well, you will know why during the next 58 minutes. We will be talking why is it so important, why there is so much talk about it. As you know, well, in 2020, Google has done a lot of buzz with its new CPS campaign, and we will be demystifying and actually answering some of the questions that we are receiving from our clients. But before we move to that, I would like to introduce my guests. Today, we have Mario CLEMENTE from Bookassist. We have JEROME DIAZ LOPEZ, or LOPEZ DIAZ, correct me if I'm wrong, from Wihp. Jerome, I'm afraid that I have spelled your name incorrectly and probably not in the right order. So I will start with you. Please correct me if I was wrong and be so kind to introduce yourself. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Yeah, thanks to you. No, you weren't. Definitely the good way to say my name. No worries. Well, thank you very much for joining. I'm Jerome, and I'm from Wihp. Wihp is actually, for those who doesn't know the company, it's an online distribution specialist, and we are experts in hospitality. And we provide several solutions and services to drive more direct revenue to hotels. One of this actually service is a Metasearch service, and we have an all-in-one system to cover all the aspects of Metasearch, from the connectivity to the bid management to selling and reporting. And now the company has been working since 1999, and we have grown from the Metasearch world and helping hoteliers to be more willing to go in the direct revenue. So that's what we do. About the drink. So today, guys, I have for you this one. So it's very French because Wihp is a French-based company based in Paris. So if you have been in the south of France, it's actually water mixed with anise. It's really nice. And I like to do it, especially in the summer season, because, you know, it's a very cliche that French can have this drink. We call it pastis or Ricard, if you know this name, and playing the time pétanque, which is a game with big iron balls you play with, and it's really nice because it's fresh and really enjoy it. The taste of anise, I love it. So thank you for letting me drinking this during a webinar. Really nice. So yes, this is my drink. That's it. Actually, you can add some mint in it. We call it a parrot. Or different kind of mixture, but I say that this way, genuine and regular.
Okay, thank you, Jerome. So cheers. Actually, we will be cheering in a couple of minutes. Can you tell us what are the proportions? What are you? Okay, we know what you're mixing, but for those that haven't done it ever before, like me, can you please demystify what's behind?
Yes. Well, actually, it really depends what you're looking for. I like it like a long drink where there is more water than anise, because the anise is really strong. But it's it's a huge discussion. You can have fights actually if you start this kind of discussion in the south of France.
There's always discussion about mix, even about channel mix. There is always a discussion. Yeah, what should weight more? It depends on the hotel. So here it depends on the taste, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I like it pretty light. So let's say two portion of water and just one portion for anise. So it's really strong. I don't recommend to not to go too far.
Okay, and then the parrot, 1 leaf, 2 leaves.
The parrot, just 1 leaf. The idea is to give a nice color, a nice green color to the drink, but this time it's more sweet, so it really depends what you're looking for. I like the anise taste, so I don't like to mix that much with parrot. And there is finally just one name, which is called a tomato, and this one, it's 1 leaf of strawberry instead of mint, and you have a really nice red color on this. So
you see, even with the drinks, it's the same with hotel distribution. It's all about the balance, to find a good balance,
exactly.
Right? Okay, exactly. Good. You have raised the bar pretty high with that drink. So we will move to Mario. I don't know, Mario, if you want to start by your drink or by introducing yourself and Bookassist. Thank you, Jerome.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Soraya, Jerome. My pleasure to meet you here at Mixist with YieldPlanet. As you already said, my name is Mario Clemente, but I have also a second surname, which is CEJUDO. So my full name is Mario Clemente CEJUDO. I'm head of partnerships at Bookassist and also managing the German-speaking countries in terms of sales and marketing. And basically, I'm working for Bookassist since 2009. What we do for hotels is actually we provide with a full solution for direct bookings. It comprehends or it completes with the booking engine, where we started also in 1999. We also offer web design, digital marketing, channel management with good partners like YieldPlanet in this case, DIAZ. In the last days, we did develop a strong reporting with business intelligence. At last but not least, with also a really strong Metasearch team, which actually manages campaigns across Europe, across the world for many different languages. And yes, we are really into Metasearch because we believe this is one of the strongest sources of direct bookings for hotels, and this is why we also suggest every hotel to start doing Metasearch.
It's amazing. We have today 2 companies. I'm sorry, Mario, to jumping in. We have today 2 companies which were founded in 1999, right?
Yes.
And today you are both in the world of Metasearch. So you are just keeping up with the trends, because in 1999, no one really was talking about Metasearch or hotel Metasearch. So that's really interesting to see how tech companies also keep update with the current trends. Mario, I don't know if there is anything else you would like to tell about Bookassist before you showing us what you have mixed for our conversation today.
Well, we have lots of things to discuss today. I think that, again, if I start talking, you will say, okay, Mario, it's enough. Stop for a moment.
So far, so good. We have 10 minutes after the start, and I think we are really, really good.
No
so
problem.
Keep on going.
So if you want, I can introduce my drink, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you what is this exactly. This is actually a very typical Spanish drink, which is called gazpacho. Okay.
Gazpacho. We normally would think about the soup.
Yes, it's actually cold soup, but you also can drink it as, for example, Jerome does with the anise in the really summertime when it's really hot. For me, at least, it's a great drink to take from the fridge and just to drink it, not just as starter, because you can also eat it with a spoon, as you see in the picture. Okay, but as I do, so I just drink it directly. You can mix it with a little bit of water if you want a little bit more water. But I will explain you a little bit how to do a good gazpacho, okay?
Yeah, please do so. Wow!
Look at this. So you have all the
it's like hotel distribution, you see? But just with different ingredients.
It's a good mix. You need a really good
in different
mix.
Proportions.
Yes,
Tell us more.
Normally the basic, they are tomatoes and cucumber, okay? That's, let's say, the basic things. And then you can put some peppers if you like it. So I don't like it very much because it's a little bit, normally it's a green pepper. Then you have onion as well. And of course, garlic. The bread is normally to give a little bit of texture. So that is like a smoother, it's like, or thicker. Is when you really eat it with a spoon. And then you just mix everything. So it's olive oil, for sure, is important. Vinegar, so here is the recipe is cherry vinegar, but you can put any vinegar that you have at home, and it depends. It's like every drink. About discussions and fightings, Jerome, I can tell you the gazpacho, it can be in every different corner, even in every different family, there is a different recipe. So when you have all the ingredients, you put it together, okay? And you just mix it and put it in the fridge. You let it cool down for a while, and then, it's just about drinking. So
okay. Wow.
When we say cheers, Jerome, cheers.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we say cheers. Okay, cheers, guys. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation. Thank you for having brought such original mixed drinks. I said that Jerome raised the bar, but Mario, man, you did it. Wow. And that's a virgin drink, right? No alcohol. We're still working hours. So, some of our guests, they might be afraid of bringing alcohol during working time. I think this is actually a very excuse. You can always blame it on YieldPlanet, blame it on us. But it's not a requirement. The most important is to talk about channel mix with a good mix. I only have a Fiero spritz, so it's very, very simple.
Okay. That's
so
good.
Basically we have Martini Fiero, and we have sparkling water. You can put a slice of orange, or if you like it, and that's it. And the proportion is 1:1. So it could not be simpler. Okay. Nice. Wow. I'm amazed. Guys, now that the introduction is done, and thank you so much again for having joined. Actually, this time we have decided to talk about Metasearch because we have seen that it's a growing trend that Metasearch are occupying a very important place in hotels marketing mix, and we have actually seen a growing concern, especially last year during the pandemics, with on advertising spend. So hotels didn't really know what to do. Those that were already investing in ads, and they have started to ask more and more about Metasearch. Why should they do it? If they should do it, is that for my hotel? I don't have a marketing specialist. I don't have an e-commerce manager. How can I do that? Can you guys help me? And there are actually pretty much every week, we are receiving questions from our customers regarding Metasearch. And we can, of course, answer to some of them, but I think there is no better way to answer, at once to some of these questions than by inviting two experts. You are both our connectivity partners, so everything really makes sense. Now, as you know, like most of all, we are serving independent hotels, but not only. Actually, have clients all over the world and from different types. We have happen to have some hotel chains, international hotel chains, but we also have clients which fit in the long tail, vacation rentals, apartments, guest houses, etc., etc. So we have clients that have some level of expertise when it comes to Metasearch, but we have others that don't really know or don't have a clue about what hotel Metasearch is. And for that reason, my question, and the first question will be a simple one. I mean, I would like, actually the question may not be simple, but I would like the answer to be simple. And I'm wondering with whom should I start? I don't know. Maybe Mario. I think I will start with you. Yeah, I think I will start with you. Okay. I think I will start with you. Tell me, how would you explain what Metasearch is to your grandmother?
Okay. So I think that I need to look for an explanation in my computer. Can you give me half an hour?
Half an hour.
No, I must say that I expected this kind of question. So I have because in order to explain to anybody that don't really understand what is Metasearch, something very complicated, I think that yes, the example of a grandma would be very fine, and maybe one of those, right? That they really, they are lovely. So I think that they are the best in the world. But it's very complicated to understand what it's technology. And I would really explain it as I think that Metasearch, the easiest way to understand it is like a market, a marketplace where you can really find all the products that you can. In this case, we can compare it with hotels. Yes.
Mario, is this where you bought the ingredients for
your gazpacho? This is the marketplace in Vienna. Maybe it is Naschmarkt. You know that?
Okay. No,
it's a lovely place. It's a wonderful place where you can go and buy many different things. It's like a big bazaar, kind of, but mostly for food. So where you can find fruits and bread and cakes and spices and everything. And yes, I was thinking about it, and I think that the best comparison is that with Metasearch, you go to a marketplace where all the hotels are listed, but not only all the hotels. So it's, if I was explain to my grandma, is that when you go to buy the best tomatoes or the best fruits or the best cake, the best bread, you know that there are many people that they resell the same product because it's a really good product. But when you go directly to the producer, to the farmer, then you get the best price and then you get the best conditions. I would say that is the same. So it's Metasearch doing the comparison. It's a marketplace because you can go to Google Hotel Ads, you can go to TripAdvisor, Kayak, Trivago, or many other, and then find for the hotels. And I think that Jerome will share with me that statistics. So I think that about 3/4 of all travelers nowadays, they go to Metasearch in order to find the hotel because they know that there are many different prices for the same hotel. When you have for the same product, the same different prices, what you want to get, if you know which is the product, the hotel that you want to book, you want to get the best price. So
yeah, 3/4 might be correct. I remember there was a study published in 2019. It was published by i4Travel and for Nova. And back then, it was 73% of guests that have declared that they would use Metasearch when booking hotels. So yeah, 3/4 makes sense. We're now in 2021, so makes sense. Okay, wow. Okay, but that if that was a granny. Okay, now if we don't have a granny, but we just have someone, I don't know, maybe, well, not something in between, a tech savvy generation Z user, someone in the middle. So what is then Metasearch all about? Hotel Metasearch, because this is what we're talking about today.
Well, in my case, I think that the best way really to understand what is Metasearch is from the guest perspective. As I mentioned, is when we travel, we decide where to go to a certain city. We look, we drill down, we go to, it depends on everyone, but we would go to different OTAs. You will go to Google. Maybe you have a recommendation from a friend that you say, okay, you can go to this hotel, and the closer you get to that search, to that point, then you have more or less taken a decision of which is the kind of hotel you want to book. But if you have booked already online a little bit, or you just shared your experiences with your friends, you say, okay, look, I book here, I book there, and you say, okay, there are always already many places, and I think that everyone in the last years got a lot of advertisement in TV from Trivago, especially, advertising, just pushing what is Trivago. And in this case, from the guest perspective, once that you know which is the hotel that you want to book, even if you want to get some inspiration from the different meta searches, because in the case of maybe TripAdvisor is the one that is more connected to customer reviews, you get more inspiration there. Then what you want to do is to get the best price for the hotel that you have chosen. So in this case, it's pretty easy. You go to a meta search, you look for the best price. And here the point is...
And then what?
The question to the hotel or the hotelier will say, but I'm not in meta search. And that's actually wrong. The point is that if the hotels, they are not present and visible by themselves, the OTAs, they are already selling their product by themselves, not by the hotel.
And can hotels compete in the same ecosystem of OTAs when it comes to Metasearch?
Absolutely.
Will you tell us how in a moment?
That's actually the opportunity that the hotels, they have right now with Metasearch, on my view.
Okay. Wow. I'm wondering if I should make your life a bit harder. And now in the next 2 minutes, explain what Metasearch is for a hotel that already knows what Metasearch is.
That's for me the question, or for Jerome?
Yes, that's still for you. That's still for you.
Okay, well, actually, if they know what is Metasearch, it's just about optimizing. It's just really to choose, as you said at the beginning, is at the end of the day, it's a question of the mix, It's, as you say, and I really compare Metasearch like a channel manager, because at the end of the day, with companies like Wihp or with like Bookassist, we work like channel managers, but at least from our side, this is what we offer as additional service. We optimize the campaigns for the hotels, because you can have the whole prices of your hotel in different channels in Metasearch. You can have it in Google, TripAdvisor, Skyscanner, Kayak, and everyone Trivago at the same time. But you need a little bit of know-how in order to optimize the channels. You need know-how in order to get the highest return on investment, and that's actually the key of the question. I think that's why we are here today.
Good. Okay, so you were saying that you need the expertise. So Jerome, if a hotel does not have an e-commerce manager, or does not have this expertise that Mario was talking about, can they still run a Metasearch campaign? How? What is needed?
Well, yes, sure. That's the beauty, actually, of the Metasearch, is like there is different, level of what you wanna do. Let's say that basically. An e-commerce manager is recommended, or someone can do it on your behalf, like Bookassist or Wihp, because it takes well, let's say time and expertise to optimize, to monitor the different campaigns. So I will say that it's recommended to work with an expert, actually, to cover the connectivity for sure, but also the bid management and optimizing the different bidding options you can have, because I'm sure that you know that it's actually a bidding system, meaning that people, they will pay for, people, they will pay to get better visibility, and there is actually two main, let's say, bidding option strategy, which is either the pay-per-click or the pay per stay. Let's say that to give roughly an idea, the pay-per-click, whenever there is a click on an ad, then the customer will involve some marketing budget for this campaign. This needs more management usually, and to do this, it is recommended to use a bid manager system, which is basically a platform. Okay, let's say imagine a software when you have access, and basically you can play with the campaign and say, yes, I wish to put here how much cost per click I wish for this campaign, etc. Okay, and then there is, of course, the commission-based model. This time it's fully automated, so that's the beauty. So if you start in the Metasearch world and you don't want to be involved in this kind of campaign because you don't have the time, you don't have the resources or the knowledge, well, the beauty is that you can activate the commission-based model for Google or TripAdvisor or Trivago. In this case, it will be them basically who will manage the campaign for you. So you have nothing to worry about, and you just decide to basically pay a commission on a booking. Okay, and you can activate this in your system, your bid management platform, and it's like a click and forget system. So you don't need to do anything. They will manage the campaign for you, increase the visibility. It's like if you can compare to what you're doing already with an OTA for Expedia booking, you pay a commission on every booking. This time it will be you're paying Google or TripAdvisor for it. But instead of promoting basically your hotel through OTAs, you will promote your hotel on your own. So you will buy independence, basically. You will buy, you will invest for promoting your official rates, which is usually cheaper, because first and foremost, we know that it's price comparison system, the Metasearch. Okay, we should call it actually price comparison system, because it's all about where is the best deal, where is it? And when an hotel is not doing this kind of campaign, the problem, which is a pity, is that Booking, Expedia, the OTAs, they will basically occupy the space and say, yeah, I'm selling this rate, I'm selling this hotel, this room. And they will give the information to the guest, the future guest, that they have the best deal, which is not the case usually, because we know that most of hotels, they do promote their official price, their official rate, which is cheaper, but it's not always promoted properly. So that's why being visible on Meta today is definitely a no-brainer, if I can say like this.
But thank you, Jerome. But actually, one of the things that we hear very often is that hotels themselves have no means to compete with these mammoth marketing investments. Today, in your opinion, is it still possible to be alongside with OTAs that have this huge marketing spend? Of course, everything has shrinked in 2020. Even OTAs have seen their marketing spend shrinking.
Well, yes, definitely. It is true that OTAs, they are billionaires, but we have to bear in mind that they don't invest in terms of budget, marketing budget, that much on a specific hotel name, brand name. Okay, usually we experience that in Europe, city center properties, independent properties. They can be visible with a very high visibility, which is the impression, investing an average budget between 200 euros to, let's say, 400 euros. So at the end of the day, it's not that much, because Expedia, Booking, they won't invest billions on a specific hotel name. Okay, they have their P&L. They will see exactly what they need to, what the capacity they have. So yes, it's definitely possible, and many hotels, especially independent properties, they are competing with them by, you know, organizing their budgets and making sure that they invest the money at the right time. It's all about the marketing mix. It's all about making sure that you are visible wherever you need to, for the best visibility at the cheapest price possible. And Metasearch, they give you this possibility, especially because you can bid on specific markets, specific device, specific length of stay, etc. To give you an example, you want to target customers from Germany, okay? Then you can decide just to activate the German market, the German extension on TripAdvisor, for people looking for a length of stay minimum of 4 nights. It's possible. On mobile, it's possible. So at the end of the day, you see that, you know, the budget is basically shrinking, and you can definitely invest not that much to be to fish where you know there will be fish for you. So that's the beauty of the Meta at the moment.
Cool. I actually wanted to ask you both about the spend. I'll park it. I mean, we'll definitely get back to there in a moment, because that's extremely important, because hoteliers are actually, sometimes they're even, well, we have to type of hoteliers, of course, some which know what Metasearch is about. They know that there is a spend. It's not just connecting the dots. In the sense dots, I mean connecting YieldPlanet Channel Manager with Wihp, for instance, or directly with the Metasearch. They know that there is an spend. It's a spend. They need to have a marketing budget in place. But we also have the hotel grannies, no offense to anyone, that are just new. And it's normal. It's not a big deal. That are new to this, and they don't really know what kind of investment do they need to do. So I will ask you in more detail, maybe. In a moment, but you know, it's really interesting to see, or it was interesting to see for us, that this kind of deal breaker, which was sometimes the investment that they need to do, or the deal breaker was sometimes the lack of expertise. It started to diminish last year. And that was pretty much around May 2020, when Google suddenly, you know, started to promote or re-promote its PPC model again. So I wonder if Google, and Mario was presenting he had this square in there with a different Metasearch, just Trivago, yes, that one. And there is Google. Well, Google is not only known for and by hotels, but it's kind of becoming a dominating Metasearch for hotels, if one can say that. And do you agree? I mean, and my second question would be whether are Google ads enough, or should hotels look also at all other, and which channels that Mario has just displayed on his screen?
I agree. I agree that Google, yeah, is definitely today the fastest growing acquisition channel. It is true. The best example for this SORAIA is that I'm sure that you've seen that within Google Hotel Ads right now, we see other Metasearch like TripAdvisor or Trivago, even Kayak, actually bidding to be visible inside Google Hotel Ads. So that explains, you know, the kind of power and the reach that Google Hotel Ads is actually experiencing at the moment. So it is definitely today the most advanced Metasearch system compared to the others. Actually, I've done the math back in 2019 at Wihp level. So we have a benchmark of 10,000 hotels today up and running in the platform, independent properties, hotel chains, all around the world, in all the different continents. And Google actually represents 50% of the global booking, the global Metasearch booking. Half of it comes from Google Metasearch. So it's huge. It's huge. And Google is actually, first of all, why? Because basically Google is visible onto the Google search. So what we all know, the search engine, whenever we will look for a hotel, but also within Google Maps. Google Maps is absolutely.
So let me ask you one thing. How can I make sure that my price, my hotel is on Google Maps?
Well, very simple, by doing a campaign on Google Hotel Ads. By default, you will have access on those two identity. So the Google search engine plus the Google Maps. So it's by default. By activating this, you'll be visible on Google Maps with the prices as well. So all those touch points, explain that at the end of the day, Google is because of the audience runs Metasearch and conversion that far. But today we also recognize that TripAdvisor is still very good in terms of audience, in terms of volume, especially because it's really strong in terms of review. People they always check on TripAdvisor because they want to see different information about the hotel. They want the review. They want to see the comments. So it represents in this big calculation I've made in 2019. TripAdvisor was around 30% of the global bookings. So it's still interesting. It's still interesting.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
And Trivago was very interesting still, representing from 10 to 15% of the global Metasearch booking. In terms of conversion, Trivago is very interesting, especially if you want to target the DACH market, for instance, or Central Europe.
The German-speaking countries.
The German-speaking countries, because they are really present in this kind of market. So it depends the mix you want to have. It depends if you want to focus more on international clientele, local clientele. But to make it simple, let's say that the big three, Google, TripAdvisor, and Trivago, you're an hotel in Europe selling rooms, you wish to be visible on all of them. The rest will be interesting. They are more niche Metasearch, but still very, very interesting. Kayak for the US clientele. So then it's the expertise we can share on this.
So it's a bit, as Mario said, it's a bit like a channel manager. And I would repeat myself because I keep on using the same proverb. I love it. And I think it makes a lot of sense to use it in online distribution, that don't put the eggs in one single basket. And we used to say that the hotels, when it comes to, the full distribution, meaning don't be just in, that channel. And I think that's what you have said, is that it's also interesting not to be, when it comes to Metasearch, not to be in one single Metasearch channels. Okay. We were talking about cost. I mean, you gave us a bit of an idea of cost that we can have. I would like to discuss that more into detail, but I will engage also Mario on that, because hotels very often they ask us about the cost. What is the cost? They reach out to us and they ask, okay, I would like to connect to Metasearch. What is the cost? Well, when it comes to YieldPlanet, there is no cost as such, because our clients, they can add as many channels as they want. They can change the channels. They can try that out. Eventually, there is a cost on the other side. So I would like to understand, or I would like because I would like our audience to understand what are the costs that might be implicated in running a Metasearch campaign, but it's what's also the result. We have clients that are already running Metasearch campaigns, and they say that they have seen remarkable results. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Mario, if you have any figures regarding conversion that you can share. How many more bookings on average your clients, direct bookings your clients are having thanks to these campaigns? On average, very important, what is the cost of acquisition? Because, we always talk about, cost of acquisition. So it's not really only about, diversifying, but also about the balance and getting, clients coming from those channels where the cost is lower. So I think if you would like, Mario, to just share your thoughts on that and eventually share some more information on that.
Okay, thank you. Well, Soraya, before going to that point of figures, I think that's something also to remind about Metasearch. And I think that it's also an additional beauty of Metasearch because I'm coming from digital marketing. This is one of my areas of expertise in the past. And compared, for example, to Google AdWords, that is actually the more traditional kind of digital marketing advertisement that hotels and companies can really go for. Metasearch is the first to those typical digital marketing campaigns that they are linked to availability and prices. That means that if the hotel is fully booked, your campaign will not show up. So you can really manage Metasearch as it would be another booking channel, as you are doing with Expedia or any other, or GDS or whatever channel, in the usual traditional channels. If your channel, which is normally connected to your booking engine, or your channel manager says that you don't have availability because you are fully booked, or because you are optimizing the campaigns and you say, I don't want to get bookings with a length of stay shorter than 2 days, then your campaigns will not appear. And if your campaigns, they don't appear, they are not displayed, you cannot accord in a cost.
So basically what you are saying is that you can also play with length of stays eventually when it comes to this specific channel, just like you do with others. So you can have a revenue strategy in place for Metasearch too.
Exactly. The thing is that imagine that you could say to your traditional booking channels, okay, I just send you, or I just let you sell packages or bookings of 3 nights, okay, because my average daily rate is in this kind, maybe is high season or whatever. So you can decide this kind of optimizations with Metasearch, and even you can go even more into detail. You can decide by country, you can decide on device, because you see that your mobile bookers, maybe they are faster, and then you want to sell their last minute. So it's really within our technology, at least, is actually like revenue management. You are already applying revenue management tactics in order to optimize the Metasearch campaigns, and really focus and really at the same level that Booking.com and Expedia and so on are doing, even with more control, because you decide the price. It's maybe one of the key factors of the success in Metasearch is that you have to offer at least the same price as you need to have at least rate parity. But in Metasearch, there are some dirty channels that they use kind of really dirty strategies.
You said rate parity, first thing that came to my mind.
With taxes, no taxes, and this and that and the other. But at the end of the day, if you are, as hotel, you are selling, you are displaying the prices by yourself, you need to offer better price. It's actually you are selling directly to the guest. So it means, and I think that any guest nowadays, they expect a better price when they book direct. But anyway, that's actually just to close up the advantages of Metasearch, because as I mentioned, being linked to availability and pricing gives a lot of advantage. Okay, being visible at the same place as many other big guys like Booking.com, Expedia, and etc.
So it is possible. We both agree that it is possible.
Exactly. So that's and the things that, as Jerome mentioned, is not only about having big pockets and doing a lot of doing a lot of high investment, but really doing it smartly and optimizing. You can have a lot of opportunities, you know, because otherwise you will get the bookings anyway through Expedia or Booking.com. So you want to get it by yourself or just pay the commission. So in terms of KPIs, before in relation to conversion rate. So conversion rate, I've been doing some research in our tools, business intelligence. So we have live right now over 1,000 campaigns. The conversion rate can differ really a lot depending on the market, depending on the channel. Okay, but let's say it's between 5-6%. So on average, you can have better conversion rates. You can have much lower. In terms of what we measure, because normally Metasearch campaigns will be measured kind of, you will have a KPI like you have in digital marketing. So we have an average return on investment of over 12 euros. That means that if you in 1 year in Metasearch, you will get over 12. I'm saying always, you know, we are talking about average. We are right now visible like in 10, 11 different countries, and it depends a lot on the channel and the country. But normally Google Hotel Ads will have the highest return on investment. So I have seen also hotels with 25, 26, even 30 euros return on investment. But you cannot take the KPIs isolated, you know, because maybe you get a really high average return on investment, but you have a really low revenue in total per month. So one of the other KPIs that we really measure is which is the percentage of revenue that Metasearch contributes into the whole direct booking mix. Okay, because you will have will have the organic revenue, you will have the digital marketing revenue, and then you have the Metasearch revenue. So the Metasearch revenue for really optimized hotels, they can get over 55% of the total direct revenue coming through Metasearch. Okay, so that it means that at the end of the day, you know, it's Metasearch is really a strong channel for the hotels if they really are willing to capitalize on. But it's here to stay, and I think that it's an opportunity that the hotels should not really let go longer. You know, even just starting, as Jerome mentioned, maybe you can start in Metasearch with a PPS model, which is more commission-based. You have low risk. You will have very probably a very low amount of revenue, but at least, you know, you just
risk safe.
You sprung you are in cold water and you say, okay, it's not that cold as I thought. It's working. So I'm getting bookings. It's an additional channel that you have there. You are probably bringing bookings that it would cost you more from Expedia, Booking.com, and so on to your website. That's a very good point. It's an additional point. And then you can move on to maybe a first campaign with CPC, then the second campaign, then all the channels, and then you are in. So it's a place to be.
Jerome,
sure.
I don't know. Do you want to add anything with regards to return? This is one of the things that we're very often asked. So I would also move that ball into you. That hot question.
Well,
if you want to add
agree.
something.
No, I agree with the different figures shared by Mario. This is what we experience in average. Again, depending on the hotel, the seasonality, but yes, it's an additional channel. Mario said it very well. It's all about making sure that you are visible. If the OTAs are visible over the Metasearch, it's big. They know there is interest. So it's highly recommended to do this on your own, populating the rate you have. So I definitely agree with.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I need to tell you one thing. Actually, after nothing to do now with Metasearch, but after our last Mixit, we had I don't know if I should treat it as a complaint or not. I won't tell who that was, but one of the guests, not the guests, one of the participants has complained that we talk too much and drink too less. So I think we need to improve that. And before I move to the next question, also because we're running out of time and we still have our glasses full, I think it's time to cheers to you, cheers to Mix and to Metasearch.
Cheers.
Okay, good. And now, Jerome, I'll stay with you because actually my next question has to do with booking engines. And Mario being from Bookassist and Bookassist being very well known for being a booking engine provider, I will ask that to you. If a hotel has already a given booking engine and they're not really willing to change the booking engine, but this booking engine is not connected to any Metasearch, can they still engage on Meta?
Well, yeah, sure.
Or do I need to change it? I mean, do they need to change it, or can they still, engage in Metasearch, staying with their booking engine, not that Metasearch connected?
No. We actually at Wihp, we are flexible on this. First, we are compliant with YieldPlanet, so meaning that if someone from prospect or customer using YieldPlanet, we will be able to get the rates and availabilities from you guys, and then it's all about installing the tracking. It's a bit technical, but basically there is absolutely no need to change the booking engine system. Actually, we are compliant with many systems, so either PMS, booking engine, channel manager, all the well-known provider on the market. So that's the kind of flexibility we can provide. So as long as we get connected, the idea is to get the inventory. Of course, no, it's not engaged to change the booking engine, which is a big strategical decision sometimes. So it's something we handle directly. The integration partner. So basically, Google, TripAdvisor, Trivago, they address the market by choosing specific integration partner, and by giving the tool to connect to any system, then we address all the metas. So no, there is no problem for this.
Mario, do you confirm?
This.
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Do you confirm? I mean, are you also offering this type of service to other the hotels that eventually might have other booking engine? Is this possible?
Absolutely, yes. So it's for us also our platform is possible to connect to other booking engines. We have, of course, in first place we offer the possibility to connect with our booking engine. But if the hotels they want to work and our platform is connected to the booking engine, it has a lot right now. So it will be. So we will just use our platform, our dashboard to optimize the campaigns, and the hotels they will keep the booking engine. It's no problem. Okay, that's actually agnostic. Yeah.
Cool. You know what? We have 7 minutes to the end of the show, and I could ask you at least 10 more questions, or probably even 20. I wonder if we should do a second of this anytime soon, because the topic is really interesting. I think we have just touched base some of the basics, and because we need to kind of keep up with the channel, and we have 6 minutes now, I would actually check whether we have any questions from the audience. If not, I probably will ask you one more question and we will wrap up. If there will be interest from the audience, we might schedule a next session, not necessarily at Mixit. So let me check if we have any questions or if we have a shy audience. It's actually very hot here. I don't know what about in your locations. Yes. So people might be actually, not in a mood to ask questions, but they're just maybe just mixing.
Yes, let's drink it.
Yes, I had this complaint. I really need to do something about it. It was a constructive criticism.
But Jérôme, do you put some ice in your anise?
I did, but
Okay.
now
It's
it melts.
gone.
But
Okay, normally
yeah.
you put ice and then you mix it with ice,
Mhm,
water, and
mhm.
anise. Okay, very nice.
I probably will invite our guests at the end of the show, at each show, to share the recipe, and then we will make, a mixed recipe, not only about holder distribution and the channel mix, but also about the drinks that they have mixed in the last and to come editions.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good idea. We can do
Okay,
that.
we have actually a
Perfect.
question. Does TripAdvisor have a PPS model?
Yes,
Well,
they do. Yeah.
Yes, they do. Can you tell us more?
Sure. So a PPS model for the audience to make sure that it's a commission-based model, so a full commission-based model based on the performance, meaning that the customers will pay a commission on checkout date only for consume booking, so on a post date.
So pretty
they
much
do
like
have
an
actually
OTA. Pretty much
exactly.
like an OTA.
Exactly like an OTA. They have actually a fixed commission, so they decided to share three kind of commission, which is fixed, compared to Google, which we actually have the possibility to choose how much we wish to go for. On TripAdvisor, it starts at 12%, then 14%, and finally 16%. So this is the fixed PPS model they provide. On Google, as mentioned, it's fully customizable, meaning that you can start at 1% up to 20%. That's why it's a bit more advanced on the Google hotel ads side than on TripAdvisor. But at 12%, you still get very good visibility. And if you compare this to a commission you can pay on OTAs, it's still very relevant and cost effective.
Okay, so starting at 12% with TripAdvisor, with Google, with the PPS model, we can actually, we're bidding commission as far as I can understand.
But
Yeah.
Jérôme, as far as I remember, I think that the PPS model from TripAdvisor was deprecated. That was the instant booking, right?
Yeah, more or less. But actually, now they have get rid of it, and they wish to go. They wish to, promote more this model, the PPS model, which is getting better in terms of conversion and let's say it's easier to understand than instant booking, which used to be a bit difficult. 50% of the time the ad is shown, etc. So it's easier this way, I believe.
It has been right. Sorry.
No, Mario, you're my guest.
Just well mentioned, because it's I can remember when the whole Metasearch started, that more or less was with Trivago, because then TripAdvisor follows, and then it appears many different models, and then TripAdvisor says, it's like when you were in the different international events or the offline events when we all attended, and the different experts from the different platforms appear on the show. So it was very interesting to see which is the development of the technology, which was really the approach, not only about a certain product like Metasearch within TripAdvisor, but the platform itself, because it was from a really kind of static customer reviews platform into a more really a commercial platform. That was a really big change in the approach. But at the end of the day, what was very interesting, at least for me, is to see how the sleeping lion of Google, that was every it was always there, just little by little build up with Google Maps and this and that and the other and the mobile search. And then suddenly Google Hotel Ads is actually right now one of the strongest channels in the whole Metasearch ecosystem. Yeah,
definitely. We actually have another question. I think it has answered before. What is the difference between pay per click and pay per stay? I think you already answered that one. But unless you want to add something, otherwise I will just add another question. And I think it's time for us to finish our drinks and greet our audience and go.
Well, Jerome,
maybe I will launch a challenge.
Yep.
In 30 seconds. Can you both, or each one of you, explain what is the difference between PPC and PPS? May I launch this challenge? 30 seconds.
Sure.
Go. Who wants to start?
At the same time?
No. Who wants to start?
I can start if you want.
I can give some more than 30.
Yes, no problem. So PPC is pay per click. So that means that you pay at the really beginning of the campaign. So when the guest, you pay for the visits, okay? And pay per stay, you pay for the guests that they have stayed in the hotel. That's a really big difference, because from PPC, you will get the visits in the website, but still a lot of people, they will just jump and they will not book because they don't like the website or they don't find the price right. And with pay per stay, you will just pay when the hotels they have been staying, so they spend the night in the hotel.
That was really quick. Jerome, your turn.
Well, the pay-per-click model is actually, it's very similar to the AdWords, if you're aware of this, Elizabeth. But basically, imagine that when there is a link with your official price, you pay anytime, even if there is no booking at the end of the day. Okay, so it's why we call it the pay-per-click this time. It doesn't involve at the end of the day a booking, and the pay-per-stay, it's a risk-free model. It's a full commission, absolutely similar to what you're doing with OTAs. This time, you'll pay a commission on the global value of the booking only if this booking is confirmed and consumed. When I say consume, I want to say that because it's on post-pay, it means it's after the checkout date. So it's absolutely risk-free. You set up 10% or 12% for TripAdvisor in the precedent example. And in this case, you have the guarantee that you'll pay when you have a booking. If there is any cancellation or no-show in the meantime, it's something you can manage as well, like you're doing on OTAs, by going in our backend and declare that there is a cancellation, that at the end of the day, you won't pay for this non-booking.
Thank you, Jerome. Thank you, Mario. I think it's then time to wrap up. I would like to thank you both so much, and most of all, or at least the same, to thank our audience for being with us today. Thank you so much for having explained, even though I think we would need at least 1 more hour to get into the details, but to explain why hotels should consider to adding Metasearch into their marketing mix, and how can they eventually drive more direct bookings thanks to this channel. If you could just greet yourself 2 words before we leave, and then we will go and we will mix it.
Sweet. Okay. Jerome, may I?
Yes, well, yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Guys, for me it was really a pleasure. So let's see if that works here. Yeah.
It does. We can see your gazpacho.
I'm really glad to be here. Soraya, thanks a lot for the invitation. I think that I hope that many of the guests and the hoteliers that they have been watching us, they are a little bit more convinced to start tomorrow with Metasearch. We gave really good tips, and I'm looking forward to the second edition of Metasearch Mix It. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Jerome.
Thank you as well. Thank you as well, Soraya and YieldPlanet, for letting me attending this webinar. Thank you to the audience. I hope that we have demystified the Metasearch. I'm sure that there is many questions that will pop in the near future. So do not hesitate to contact YieldPlanet. We'll be happy to help them on this. And yeah, looking forward for the next edition. Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. Don't forget, mix your channels, mix your drinks. Cheers. See you next time.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.